Tom.
And I'm Molly.
Welcome to Forensic Gameology, hosted by ForensicGameology.com.
Reviews for science.
In 7 minutes or less. Tragedy Looper, a deduction game. Team-based, in the sense that it is me versus all three of you. It's one versus all. And I'm trying to concoct a tragedy, and the other players are trying to figure out what that is, and then stop it. And they go back in time. That's the loop of Tragedy Loopers. They can go back in time a certain amount of times and try to stop the tragedy, and that can be something really bad, like a murder or some crime or a suicide or something bad. It's a real tragedy, and I'm trying to force that to happen with through paranoia and intrigue, and they're trying to stop that with goodwill and using these players' powers and keeping the bad guy away from the victims and whatnot. Now, I'm going to be purposely obscure. Obtuse is the wrong word. Obscure. I'm going to be purposely...
Obtuse too.
I know. I'm going to purposely... It was an obtuse thing to say. I'm going to be purposely obscure because there are a lot of scenarios in this game and I don't want to spoil any of them for you. So this is kind of a weird review for us. It's not a legacy game, but it's kind of like that where I don't want to say a bunch of stuff. So I'm just going to go over some very general aspects of the game. But let's start first with simplicity versus complexity.
This game is complex. There's no other way to put it. There's a lot going on. And so as the investigators, or as the role of all of these people trying to stop the incident, not the mastermind, you have to figure out what plot it is. You don't have to figure out the plot, but figuring that out helps you figure out what characters are in there and helps you stop what's happening. And there's a couple ways to win, but you can make it through all of the loops. No. Stopping the loop. Or you can also call out every character. And so, but there's just so much going on. There's so much happening on this board. One thing I do like, it says, I don't know what to do. And so it tells you, well, at least try to put out a goodwill. And then it says, okay, well, the next loop, don't die the same way. So don't do the exact same thing you did. Try to figure things out. The other thing that makes it complicated is that you can say nothing on your turn. And if you play the same action as another person, because you all have the same cards, you don't get to do that action for some of them. And so you can both move. That's not one bullet. So you can't both forbid intrigue or whatever. And so you just have to hope and work, and that hopefully they don't play that card or whatever. So on top of it being rules heavy and who can move where and having no idea what the mastermind what is going on, you can't talk. You can talk beforehand, but not during. You can't say, I'm picking this.
So this game is super complex, and in large part because you don't know the losing condition. So like there's a general losing condition, but you don't know how it's triggered. And you only find that out when it happens. You're like, oh, I guess we lost now. Like it would be incredible to win this game in the first loop, because you just don't know what the conditions are. And piecing that together is all part of the deduction, but it is complicated. It is complex, and there's no getting around that. Luck versus strategy.
Golly. The beginning loops seem very lucky, and the later loops seem more strategic because you've experienced the bad luck of dying or losing the game, and so you try to strategically, okay, well, I moved this here, and so it gets more and more strategic as the game goes on. And being able to have someone in your group that is really good at puzzling out things helps as well. So I think this game is a good balance. Like I said, beginning luck, it gets more strategy because you figure things out.
I feel like this is a luck-less game. There doesn't seem to be anything that's random about it. The mastermind sets up the whole scenario, and so it's a fixed, static scenario the entire time. It's super strategic. You've got to just make sure you don't lose twice the same way. You've got to keep trying to throw a wrench in the mastermind's plan. You've got to save the people you know are victims. So, fun versus boring. This game is so much fun, and I love it. My Board Game Geek rating may not reflect that when we get there. It will, but it's not like a 10 or anything to me. Because the unfun part, like Molly said, is that you can't talk during the turn. You can't discuss what you're going to do. Now, you can waive that rule, and it says that you can waive that rule, especially for first-time players. And that's where I think both situations are bad. If you can talk, then you're going to smash the mastermind. It's just going to happen, and it stops being that much fun. If you can't talk, though, the game itself is fun, but it stops being a social experience, and it starts being just... If you're just about playing the game, this is it. But if you want to enjoy the social experience, it's silent. No one's talking. We're always kind of looking at each other, wondering, what did you play? And so, I mean, the negatives aside, this game is so much fun. I don't really watch anime, but I dig the anime theme. I know a lot of people might find that to be like it puts them off, but I like it. I like how the characters interact and have cool goodwill that makes sense. Like some of them interact with each other or can't go certain places, and some of these people like they're going to change their roles all the time. There's key people, a killer, a brain, a cultist, all sorts of stuff that can pop up and may not even be in any game. And I find that so compelling and intriguing, and I really enjoy the deductive aspect of this game. And I really like playing as the mastermind, just trying to wreck everybody.
This game is fun. It is fun trying to figure this out. In your first round, though, you just have no idea. You just don't know what to do. You've got nothing to go on. So you just kind of push buttons and see what happens. And like Tom said, you can't talk during the round. You can talk after or in between loops and say, okay, well, this happened, so I think maybe this is what he is, and maybe this. So this, I'm pretty sure you can't say, I think this needs to be played, but you can say, well, we need to stop intrigue here. We need to stop this or something. So. But yeah, it is silent. This game is fun. It's a brain burner. It's brain mind explode. So if you like puzzles and reasoning and figuring that out, then this might be the game for you. So
Board Game Geek rating system, I'm gonna go 8 out of 10.
I'm gonna go 6.5. Yeah. So, every time we get to multiples of 500 subscribers, we give away a free glitter painting of your favorite geeky thing. So make sure to subscribe now on YouTube.
It could be you that wins.
Tragedy Looper. We've presented the evidence.
You be the judge.